What's your name?
Leo.
How long have you been in Lancaster County?
I've been in Lancaster since August County. I've been in the Water Street mission for about a week or two. It took me about like that exact week before I got into Water Street, but then I was there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Then I've been on the streets for a week, and then I called 211 to give me the help that I needed. Then next thing you know, after that week I was on the streets. They gave me the call. Columbia said they had a place for me to go, so I came down right then and there. I wasn't gonna wait till next morning. I came right that afternoon, got my bed situated and everything, and then bit by bit, I was just working on getting my ID situated, getting a job, and just getting on my feet. And then they help with resources here, like if I needed to apply for applications online, even in papers that they had here. They had bus schedules here. They help you with bus passes. So it's like they showed me the resources that they had and they could help you with everything. So I just been trying to stay focused since I've been down here. And now I'm working I work at a warehouse job now at Anvil. So I've been there since last month, since September. So,
Good.
Just working bit by bit.
Due to your current situation, do you feel people treat you differently? Are you treated differently by members of the community?
Now, see, I know it's a new, now with me, I learned it's a new change for people, especially when you're a new face and they're not used to seeing. But it's like, I'm a person, like, I'm nice, I speak to everybody, I say, good morning, how you doing? Like, to let people know, like, even though I'm a new face, I let you know, it ain't nothing for you to worry about. Like, I'm just as nice, as friendly as everybody else. I'll go to work, I mind my business, and I stay in my own lane.
Great.
And I focus on what I have to do for me to take care of myself. But if anyone needs a helping hand, I give them a helping hand. Like I always ask, I usually see seniors and everybody that if they need help with something, I'll be willing to help them. If they need help, they say they got it. If they got it, they need help, they help.
So it sounds like you're setting goals. You look at this as maybe being a temporary situation.
Yeah, like it's not,
shelter.
yeah. My main focus now is just using the resources that I need here while I'm working, just trying to save up to better myself. And then once I get my own self situated and everything, even then I still try to be a help within the community itself, even with the shelter, because even while me being here, I just try to be a helping hand around here, even with me working still.
So do you feel like you got a lot of support from the shelter?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a lot of the members here that helped me and everything, like with my kids workers and everything here, they have been helping me out with everything. So in return, I let them know if I need help with things, they just let me know. Whether it's they do their little runarounds, help clean the community, things like that, I will go and assist with them and go help clean around and just let people know, like, at the end of the day, like, the shelter's nothing to worry about. I know some people look at it differently because of prior their past or what they've been through with someone. Because I knew someone who had an encounter with somebody in the shelter and they kind of gave them a bad name. And that's why people look at the shelters the way they do, because of a bad experience they had with someone in a shelter years ago. And then they think just everyone that comes from a shelter is the same, but it's not true. Mm-hmm.
So,
and I feel like a lot of people get mistreated differently that live in a shelter compared to those they actually have their own place and a car and all that. They get treated differently. And I don't find that fair because we're all human beings, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So you feel safe here in the shelter?
Oh yes, most definitely. Like, and if ever an issue and everything, they always come to you and they'll let you know, listen, if you have any issues, you can come and talk to them. And they got resources. If you need help with certain things or issues or whatever the case may be, all you gotta do is come to them. They willing to help you. But like they said, you can't help someone they're not willing to help themselves. So
right.
They can't do but so much if you don't come to them. But if you really need the help, that's what they're here for. They're here to help you.
What are some of the requirements you need to follow to stay in the shelter?
Well, the one, to me, in my personal opinion, you have to, in the shelter, that's kind of tricky because I'm still learning things myself here. But I know when I was in Water Street and everything, you couldn't be on drugs and things like that. You can't be drinking for real like that. And if you find out you get caught drinking and everything, then you're out for a night or so. That's how it was when I was in the streets and when I was in Ohio. That's how it was. But now down here, I know it's different. But down here, you can't be on no type of drugs or anything.
And I think you had mentioned a curfew.
Yeah, and the curfew, like we're here, the curfew is at 9:30. Sometimes the only way you get a pass, if you come in later than that, then you have to be working, and that's a night shift like I do, because I work 2:30 to 11. And I don't get here till like 11:30. So they already know that because I got a paper from my H&R lady who kind of gave me the info and let them know, like, they told me because this is my schedule, I had to give them a paper proof showing this is my schedule, me working this. Because you're going to need some verification proving that you work that shift. Because if not, they're going to take it as you playing around and then you won't get in. So
right.
Once you got some type of proof that backs you up, that what clears you. And you actually doing what you're doing.
Do you have anything you want to add, any message you want to convey to the members of the community or to...
See, The only thing I want to say is like to the community out there, to the whole Columbia itself. It's like, and this is not just Columbia. This is, to me, I look at it as a whole worldwide, no matter which city or state you're in, because it's all over, and not just in Columbia. It's all over. It's like, just instead of looking down on someone in their situation because they're in a shelter, try to look on the perspective side of what happened. Some people have been through drug abuse and actually physical abuse in a way that led them to this situation, and they had no help or no support, and it's like, this is all they got. And that's why a lot of people go to the shelters, because it seems like the so-called family or friends that they had ain't really there for them. Because I had a lot of friends who've been through that, and people who've been through that type of situation. They've been mentally abused, physically abused, and been hurt by their own peoples and family. They feel like they ain't got nobody. And it feel like the only people they could turn to is the streets, because it seems like the streets is the only people that got their back. And that's kind of sad to say, but it's true. I see it every day.
Okay.
And I just try to show people, I just try to be the positive person that I be every day, and try to show people the brighter side of things. Like, there's always everybody going through something, but eventually you will get out of your situation. As long as you keep your faith and you just pray each and every day, you just trust in God, because it all comes with God first, and then believing in yourself and then trusting in Him. I believe you can get through anything.
Thank you, Leo.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Samantha Murray.
How long have you been in Columbia?
I have lived in Columbia in the borough for the last 23 years.
Okay. And what led you to come here?
My parents bought a home on 7th Street.
Okay. And how did you find out about the facilities of the shelter?
Through 211.
Okay. So you've been here
Since June.
Since June. Okay. Do you feel safe here?
Yeah.
Okay. Since you're in this current situation, do you feel like you're treated differently by members of the community, whether good or bad or in between?
Yes.
Really? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I feel that I get treated unfairly. There's certain places I won't go because, like, I have to use food stamps to pay for things, and they will deliberately overcharge you for items when you pay for food stamps. I mean, $16 should not be the price for a sub.
Right, I agree. I assume you look at this as like a temporary stop along the way. I'm
Yes.
sure you're setting goals.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I'm trying. I have some health issues and that limit my ability to do work. So I'm trying to see if I can go back to school so I can get a job that isn't so physically demanding.
Okay. What do you find are some of the requirements to be here in the shelter? For example, do you have duties?
I volunteer 3 days a week at the church for an hour and a half. We have chores we have to do down at the shelter, itself. Like mine this past week was to clean the bathroom and sterilize all the doorknobs. So,
okay.
So
I'm sure you've made a lot of connections since you're here. You've got to know people
yes.
a little bit more. Is there anything you want the community in general to know about the shelter or about you?
We're harmless. I mean, these people are afraid of me, thinking that I'm some sort of drug addict, alcoholic, and I'm not either. And I don't. And it's like I've never even been arrested, so I don't even know why they would think that I'm some sort of criminal.
Right.
And I'm not.
Okay, so you just want to let them know you're just a regular person, and you just made a temporary stop here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. What's your name?
Carol Marks.
How long have you been in this general area, Lancaster County or Columbia Borough? How long have you been around the area?
In Columbia since May 4th.
Okay.
And Lancaster County since December 1st.
Okay. Can you say where you were before that?
Right before here, I was at Ebenezer for 1 month. And
Ebenezer.
before Ebenezer, I was at Water Street Mission
Oh, I
for 4 months.
Okay. So how long have you actually been homeless?
I've been homeless for a month and a half.
Okay, what led you to this shelter?
What led me to this
Yeah, how did you
particular
find out?
shelter?
Yeah, this particular shelter.
Oh, just from the Lancaster County food hub.
Okay. Do you feel safe here?
Yes, I feel
Okay.
safe here,
I assume you've made friends with a lot of people here.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
and even in the community.
Okay. Do you have any particular duties that you do here, or do you
I
work
do.
during the day, or?
I don't work at this time.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
they give us chores to do.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
I like to keep busy and
Right. So as far as regulations, you do have to do a certain number of things, and I assume talked to Leo. He said there was a curfew. People have to be in by a certain time unless
yes,
you work
9:30.
late. He said he works late. Can you say what caused you to be homeless, and if that's
Okay, I
not
feel like I'm a little different than most people because it doesn't matter whether someone would believe me or not. It doesn't change the fact, but I work for the Lord, and I'm obedient to Him first of all, and He knows that
Sure.
I want to work, truly do want to work, enjoy working, but He wants me to be here
and maybe
to
help others?
realize what people are facing out there, and to inform myself on things of social aspects of communities, of people in general for my future work.
Okay.
But yes,
Do you feel like you've been treated differently because of your situation, or because of the fact that you live here
yes.
for now? Can you elaborate on that at all?
At the library, you're not allowed to take out a book outside the library because you're homeless. Even though we're not living on the street, we're in a shelter.
Right.
But
right.
they have that stipulation. You cannot take out a book. And just sometimes there's people, you talk to, and that will have an attitude of the homeless are lower, and they have a responsibility to take care of themselves, and it's their fault. They have this perception that it's their fault that they are homeless, when that's not true. Because there's so many different reasons why a person is homeless, and I could name many, and they're all different. Some are the same, but it could be from childhood abandonment.
Mhm.
It could be from not having a father when you were younger, because you can't always, those things hurt, and there's got to be healing through that, through the love of people and the love of God, and just the prices of rent. People have been turned away and said they have to leave because of no other reason, but the landlord doesn't want to have them there. Maybe they want to raise the rent, or they tell the person they will raise the rent and the person can't afford it. So there's many reasons why they're homeless.
Okay. Is there anything else you would want people in this community in Columbia to know about the homeless situation, basically being homeless, or about homeless people? Is there anything you would want to convey to them?
Well, I'm a believer. Many people are believers here. This is a Christian organization here. But so we have to follow God's lead. So God says that nobody is higher than another person. You're no greater than these homeless people here. And we are told in the Bible to feed the hungry, give clothes to the ones that need clothes, and a shelter for the ones that need shelter.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.